Hey. Planet Pert Podcast, episode number 23.
Oh, hold
Are we
on.
Michael
That's the
Jordan
number,
or
Michael.
LeBron James, though?
We both. We both, though. Ooh, we are mixture. Tonight gonna be the combination of mixtures.
Okay.
23, that's my special number.
So, man, my mother was born on 11/23, and my daddy. Same birthday. Yeah, so 23 is special for me, too.
My sons are exactly 23 months apart. My brother died when he turned 23.
Okay.
My favorite number, 23.
Okay.
And this episode, it's episode 23.
Trey, you got some 23s over there?
I have a lot of
not your shoes
numbers,
though.
But like, no, we're 16, man. 16.
What if you divide 16 by
Like I was just thinking, man, I'm just not that good. Like you know me, man. I barely believe in time as it is. And so like it's really really hard for me to like really like there's events that have hit me and then like but like I don't really know when they hit me.
Okay.
Right. No, that makes
anniversaries of shit. I know when my anniversary is, but I don't know how long I've been married.
Okay.
Facebook will usually tell me something and shit.
Yeah.
And then like or like I'll see something and it will let me know and it's like but really and truly, man, like it's very interesting. Like somebody was telling me that like somebody found me on Facebook recently, and like now they see because you know for a while there I didn't post anything. I only just posted my kids.
Right.
That's my profile pictures for a very very long time. Right. It's like now, like I'm putting myself out there again and being that dude, who people can see it for a while because you know I went into hiding for a minute. Everybody
same here.
Who knows I just kind of went on a little spirit walk.
Same here
and
too.
So it's like now I'm kind of like, hey everybody, I'm cool, and like they're starting to see like the gray hair now. And it's cool,
right?
Like it's very interesting though.
It is.
You get like because like man, like I talk to all of us like we're still in the 90s.
Right. It feels like that though.
But it's like I know we don't talk like we did back in the 90s.
Yeah,
because time has brought us there.
True,
but
that's the beauty of life. Like I never knew that you would be the same kid, but as in an adult type way.
Yeah,
like, that was dope.
That's crazy. So man, somebody posted a meme was like. You know, adults walk around like kids don't know shit. Matter of fact, it was Warren who posted a post. He was like, adults walk around like kids don't know shit. But really, half the adults that I know don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a fucking front to be an adult. But
it is a front.
But it is. But then there also is a sense of responsibility as being parent adults.
Right.
Versus my single friends and my friends that I see that don't have kids that are either older than me or even close to my age range. Like their lifestyle, like when you post, you know, like when you post what you post about.
No, I got in some trouble for that because
Really?
Well, it's like I know that people my age who don't have kids, they either made a decision or decisions were made for them.
Yeah,
right.
And
so I feel for both. I feel for all
their options
involved.
though, man.
No, I understand. Because but like when people say that they don't, like when somebody says that they don't have kids but they want kids, I always say adoption because my mom was.
That's
exactly
what I'm saying.
Like, options. Everybody always says, well, they don't want to inherit the problems that are already. Well, like yeah, my mom had a fucked up story.
Right.
And so it's like it's part of my fucked up story. And so it's like I hear what you're saying. So like we can go down that road, but like I usually, you know, I'm trying to always keep it on the positive, especially when I'm skewed. And like today was like one of those days where I was tired.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have it in me. The energy just, everything was just.
It gets drained like this sometimes.
And so it's like, you know, I knew. And so like I'm a big person. Well, like I'm just a big like self-awareness type of dude because I got to keep my own shit in check because there's nobody for me to go, hey, I'm having that type of fucking day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I know how that sounds, but that's that's a very black man thing to do, right? Yes. Like nobody ever asked shit. So it's like, man, I just didn't have that energy.
That's true,
like
bro.
Early in the morning.
No, that's true.
No, I didn't have it from early in the morning, and I knew it.
Nah.
I knew it when I didn't.
I had that same type of day. Like when you know it. Like today might want to be one of them days. I might, hey, it's gonna be light.
So it's like I had to chill, and I was trying to keep it low, but
you know what I'm saying?
I put myself in positions.
You know what?
To where I always got to deliver.
Man, you just brought up an interesting point to me. Is where I love them. I love friends who call me who be like, "Man, what you doing?" Be like, "Nothing."
Right.
My nigga Ugly D called me out the random, and we end up having a 45-minute conversation on the phone about absolutely nothing. But he just called like, "Hey, I ain't want shit, man. I was just seeing what you was doing."
Right.
Most of your phone calls is just like, "Hey, bro, can I borrow this?" Or, "Hey, bro, can I get that?" Or you know what I mean? And there's those times in need where you, when you need things, right? Well, everybody needs help, right? And nobody really asks black men how we feeling.
Ooh.
So you just hit on the nail with that. Like nobody wins. Like so when you get that rare jewel, even if it's in a female or even a guy friend, like man, that's rare, bro.
That
like nobody
real.
really be like, "Hey, bro, man, how you feeling today?"
Because we go through a lot on a daily basis, brother.
Well,
I
think especially our generation, we're like 1950s men repressed. Like white men, where it's like they don't express shit.
Yes.
And it's like we're at that point where you got to be hard, and that's how we were raised was to be hard.
Too hard.
And now that's too hard. Yeah, it's exactly what you're saying. Now with all the millennials and the self-help and everybody else was growing and shit, but we were hard.
Yeah.
Even though somebody should have said, like now we say PTSD, like we were in the war zone, but kind of had some stories where like if you change the location, somebody would look at it differently.
Can I explain another
Facts?
Can I explain the theory of mine though when it comes down to that? So check out this theory, man.
Right.
Like we were repressed and oppressed to do a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So just the Wild West days was the real days, bro. Like you used to be able to shoot a motherfucker down on a 10-step drop. No. Let me get to my point because like white people were allowed to go through those days, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you how evolution and then the clock of being pressed back is we're actually still on schedule, even though we want to be way past. That was the last 2 weeks of conversation. We want to be way past where we're at. So they got to have the Billy the Kid and Jesse James and Outlaw type shit, right?
Yeah.
They went through the outlaw phase.
Then they went through the mafia phase where think about Chicago with the Tommy guns and blasting at the cops and like white people killing white people all day, right? Yeah. So if you think about the timeline, we're staggered behind even in the evolution of understanding that Black Lives Matter and Black lives are important. Because that's what they eventually learned and turned this shit into an alliance. Right. So we're behind. We're not. I have faith in us. Okay. I do.
Yeah, of course.
Some weeks I come here and I'll be like,
fuck them niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you got. It's us.
But when I think about my own theory, it makes sense because they got to be gangbangers, outlaws.
Because we was amongst them.
Right.
But can I hit you off even harder?
Go deep.
American God style.
Drive American style.
All right. So American God style.
I need download.
They wipe off. You wipe them out. So you wipe out history. Okay. It was a Black Wall Street. There was
No, that's real.
That's towns. That were wiped off the map overnight. There were black cowboys after the Civil War.
Okay.
Right?
No, that's true.
I got you right.
There's a lot of rodeo heroes that, like, they don't get their just due because, nobody knows who they are.
Because that's to the American system. They try to wipe out everything that was black. They was intimidated by the black guys.
All right, so let's take it even clearer, right? Okay. Let's take it to where we're black. We understand where we're at right now, which is a little bit steps behind in the race.
It's staggered.
Correct.
Right? Because for a while there, we were enchained. Right?
True. Correct.
So at some point in time, we were... Well, at some point in time, we weren't moving while everybody else was progressing.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So that's the major gripe.
Okay.
I guess we could say, right? And so, and the reality of it all, right, is it's not that we were stagnant. is that we were still doing stuff. It's just enough of us weren't doing it to make it a movement.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
And so what I see with like American Gods is that history of any kind, once it's forgotten, it's forgotten.
Yes.
And so right now, a lot of the lessons that we should have been passing down were forgotten, whether it was by Vietnam, whether it was by heroin, whether it was by jazz,
whether
it was by letting the blacks go into baseball,
whether it's about the Alamo,
by
anything.
letting the blacks go into basketball.
All that stuff was great for
all that
shit was great for all those sports. And looking back at,
but it became a distraction, bruh, because that was the new way to make the money.
You think
That's
so?
what I always say in
Broadway.
That it always goes over to that one dream that every American has, whether you're Irish, whether you're...
So you think it started off with Broadway? Because the niggas, they would move to the north. You go to Broadway, you could dance and sing like a motherfucker. You good.
We had the Cotton Club and we had the Chitlin Circuit, bro.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
They
about.
always give us shit. Like, anytime that there is a new avenue, we take it.
Because we don't know nothing live.
Because it's the American dream. And that's what American Gods, like when I got done with that book, I was like, oh shit, everybody kind of came over to this land because they were like, nobody's here, even though there was a lot of people who was here. All right? And
the Indians.
The TV show touches on...
they say things like that, but they're not even like...
Well, the TV show does touches what you're talking about, though. Basically, the old ways fading out, right?
Yeah.
And when the old ways fade out, the old people don't like it, but the new people are evolving and moving with the new ways, right?
And they love that shit.
To where you can create new gods in the sense of the TV show where it's just like the data god, the network god,
the program, the
programmer god. Like there's so many different worships, right? To where it's like, I understand the evolution of that. I think our biggest thing as African Americans is we need to be information gods. That's why I like to come up here and hit you with the points and hit you with the factors, because I posted some shit the other day just as a joke, and the homie hit me like, hey bro, how can I get my credit up? He was like, man, it's too much to type. Call me. Called him. Had an
inbox me.
I called him and had a whole hour. No names needed, but I called him and had a whole hour conversation, and he never had credit. So he's in no debt. So I was like, bro, it's easy for you. Let me show you.
Easy.
Do this, do that. He was, we started talking about secure credit cards because he doesn't have a card. He doesn't have any credit either, later on in life. So I'm like, bro, get the secure card. Boom. Do this. I sent him the format of what he needs to, whatever the limit. We was talking
about that, like how some people don't know, like a financial associate. You can hire through your bank. They can help you with your funds.
We aren't taught to talk to other people about money.
No, but we are.
That's one of our
to school them on the updates though.
Because this is a former D-boy I'm talking about. So when I started running the numbers to him, he was just like, oh, so I do this and do. He understood it the way I understood it, and I was just like, my nigga, yes, bro, come play the game with me.
Because
please come play the game with me.
You can take the hustle and move it to anything.
To anything.
And so
please come play the game with me.
And so it's kind of like, all right, so once you spit game to him, he's aware of enough because the streets have taught us to decipher the truth from the bullshit.
It's like
from the bullshit.
Where it's like, oh, I see exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly, Trey.
And so then it's like, all right, we can do this now. And a lot of people didn't like break shit down. Like
exactly.
That's why I just said.
Me, when I went off to college,
we are information gods. We need to give it to them.
It's not even just about information. It's about passing down. Because
that's
when I went off to college,
point of being a god is like you don't keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
You spread it amongst the people.
Well, it takes a godlike level of understanding oneself to where you just don't care about somebody's judgment, right? So for me, I can say, well, think about it like this. So like I think at 19 years old, I had 9 credit cards. I used them for a lot of different shit.
Yeah, he was on some other shit.
At 20, I didn't have any credit cards.
Okay.
I mean, like, no, but you know me.
I know.
You know me and money. So, like, if I had a radio show from midnight to 2, anybody who was with me was eating for free, right?
True.
So, like, could I really afford that income? Y'all know, bro. Y'all know me, right?
Yeah, I know.
But somebody told me $25 was the minimum payment. I didn't think about interest because I didn't know interest, man. Like,
exactly.
Like the only thing I knew about money growing up was that we didn't have enough of it, and somebody was gonna have to bring it.
So this is the
you know what I mean?
This is the some shit was about to get put in my name at 9.
Exactly. At 9 o'clock.
I got a cable bill at 9.
At 9 o'clock.
Like, mama, why does cable bill get my name? Boy, give me the
Man, there's certain things to where like you just it's funny to me because
let's pass it
hanging
on.
around all of us, right? Like this shit is just real talk to us. We can all laugh and joke about it, but it's like, you know, I'm married to a white woman.
Yeah.
I had to explain certain things. I had to explain that I didn't know how to really save like they save.
Yeah.
Right. Real talk.
Like that's what you do.
What's crazy is I was saving like they were saving, but didn't even realize I was saving
banks.
like they were saving.
I don't trust banks.
Exactly. Same here.
That's the same thing the homie told me. He doesn't have a bank account. And I was like, bro, get you a fucking bank account. Number one. I said number one before you do anything else. Because when you go to buy the house, whether it's through NACA, I put them on NACA. NACA doesn't care about your credit score. NACA doesn't care about anything. You go take a NACA class. The only thing is it's government issue funds. So the way that they process those loans is they basically could tell you can only afford $1,100 house. So that's all I'm going to give you.
Right.
So versus going to a mortgage company and doing it through FHA or they're going to tell me, they're going to look at my DTI and then they're going to tell me, okay, well, this is your maximum. And then you could push for that maximum, not knowing that first year you don't pay taxes on the house, you pay taxes on the lot. You'll end up paying more. I know, but I'm just still the game.
It takes an enlightened person to say, I don't know those acronyms.
Same here.
And like you and I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, NACA, Google it. It's the first thing that comes up.
No, but like most people don't. Like I was explaining to my brother Aaron that most people, because I was explaining that one of my friends doesn't have a laptop. I was putting something together, right? And he was over like, people don't have a laptop. I was like, yeah, man, most people have phones.
I got like 9
phones. He was like, most people have phones. And he was like, what do you mean? And
because you're an IT guy.
You do everything that you want on a phone.
Exactly.
And he was like, I heard that people don't have internet in some places. I was like, yeah, because you already
got hotspot on your phone.
I explained that to y'all when I told you when I go to the ghetto and when we talk about information, but it also goes back into financing and understanding that your kids are going to be on YouTube, but they also may need to use their internet for a science project. So the reason they may not be doing well in school is because they got to go 8 miles up the street to the library, which you may not have money. I know, but let me just.
It's a bill.
Yes, but you have to. The cheapest, that shit could be $30 a month for just that fucking internet though. So you have to figure out, okay, instead of fucking buying you Ciroc on Friday, figure out a way. Not saying everybody drinks it, but nigga, I've been to the hood. I know what goes down.
Right.
I see
there's a lot of money that's being wasted.
Wasted on absolutely fucking nothing. Instead of
like bitch got bundles. Bitch got bundles.
Money.
Can I keep it a bean?
Okay.
My phone.
And that's all of us though.
My phone is T-Mobile prepaid.
Okay.
I pay $50 a month. Longview reimburses me. I pay $55.
Yeah.
Longview reimburses me $50 a month. So I pay $5 a month for my fucking phone, and I can go get it. I know, see, but I can go, and I can go get it.
You're better at paperwork than I am.
I can go get. I can go to Verizon and get the $100 unlimited plan, but I never really use that much data. So I'm going to stay in my comfort zone of what I
need to do,
what I just need.
Right.
Not that I can afford, because
what I can handle for that month.
No,
right. It's about living beyond your means.
$5.80 for my phone a month. My job reimburses me that money, bro.
I think it was during
my real. Shout out to the company.
Somebody asked,
Axe 360 remodeling.
Right? Like the difference between having money and not having money, from somebody who's been in both positions, is that it just gives you different choices.
Okay.
So what I didn't realize in Aldine that I now know in Spring Branch is that they didn't have to make different choices, right?
Okay.
So like lunch money. Let's just talk about lunch money.
Y'all remember that shit?
If you didn't have
that shit got me rich.
If you didn't have free lunch, right? Then like all jokes aside, that was some type of bill that your parents had to figure out if you had ints.
What district are we talking about though? We're talking Stratford or Aldine?
See, in Aldine, because in Stratford it did type of thing.
In Stratford, that was the weed money that they spent to buy weed from entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
Right.
But in Aldine, nigga, you had to eat
because they got $20 a day.
I know. Think about that.
And so in Aldi, if your mom gave you $20, no, that's $100 a week.
Yes.
You got $20 a day.
Yes,
bro. I used to figure out like how in the hell did they buy those grams?
Because they used to
get them from me
every. And then that was just the Monday through Thursday deal. Because the Friday deal of being like, hey, mom, I'm going to the mall.
It's Friday, like the game. No, the game. The game is on Friday. They got to hit the game.
I got to get something.
And then finesse and be in the field with you. Talking about, yes, bro.
And don't let them figure out how to get in their parents. Don't let them figure out how to get in their parents' account.
The watches is coming soon, and we go spoil a lot of shit.
Oh my God.
We go. You know, we leaking information out, but in a positive light. But it's true. I mean, it's not on the snitching shit, but it's just gonna be information to where you're gonna be like,
Aldi,
now
right?
I get it.
I went to Aldi and to A-Leaf, right? Because mom chased the good school, she said, right? Yeah. So like when a hood got too hood. Because, like, you know,
it's time to go.
Always got beat up. So, like, once I got to a point of getting fucked up, right? Like,
it's time to go.
It's time to go, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, we went on over there. We went on over to Aldi. We went on Spice Lane. Son, I was on Spice Lane. You lying. And my mom was like, huh?
How the hell
when
you
I
go
was
from Aldi to Spice Lane's worse?
No, son.
Bro, you was on Spice Lane,
That's when I met my boy K.O. and I met Nav. And so, like,
crack.
And so they introduced me to a whole nother life, but they allowed me to be protected for.
That's what I was gonna tell you. If you met somebody like me in any of those neighborhoods,
we were protected over at Ollie, and so I got to be like,
you went to Ollie,
got to go like really crazy. I was on the yearbook, so you know I got to get out of class. My whole thing about being in school was just to get out of class. Anybody who knows me knows I just wanted to get out. So it was like I was in everything. And then once I came over to Stratford, I told everybody this is where it's at.
Yeah.
They don't have any of us.
Yeah.
There's only like 4 of them. It's Tiger Raheem and
Right.
So like, you know, man, shout out to Raheem who's dealing with something.
Yeah, man. His brother passed away, man. Yeah, man.
Sorry to hear that. You know, every single week we talk about shit, but like, you know, man.
Yeah, we always pay respects, man. I saw that too.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things going on right now, man. We all.
It is a lot of things going on.
Keep everybody in your
prayers.
If you care about prayers and in your good thoughts if you know about shit. So like, just good thoughts, man, all the way around. Everybody's dealing.
Yes,
so with that being said, we rest in peace along the way. So we'll just keep going. But man, back in the day, people were just always. They have so much money, and we didn't know. But what I now know is being an Uncle Phil and like raising little Carlton and Ashley.
Yeah.
So like now I'm raising them. Like they're like, it's like. You want $20? Yeah, you don't need anything else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're like, yo, man, but I know that might. But and so like you do shit and without lessons, and so we don't pass down them lessons. Like I would never ever tell him how to the gram. I would probably tell him the gram.
Shit on the rob. At some point, you might.
But it's like I don't want you. I don't want you to be.
You might get robbed.
Yeah. And I straddle the fence on that of teaching my kids a little bit of street knowledge.
You ever been robbed before, son?
Everybody.
Well, and also
you want to know the signs when somebody about to take your shit,
and also to prevent to prevent those things from happening as well, and paying attention to the signs
when somebody about to take your shit,
and allowing yourself to get out of those situations as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of everything. What I envy about this, man, and I've told y'all before, what I envy about today's society is these kids actually have the opportunity to be themselves 100% of the time. Just like Trey was like, man, he couldn't be the smart kid. I was a smart kid who had to still be a fucking thug and knock niggas out because it was like...
But at the same time, I want to be tuned in with my smartness, though.
Yes, but I have to, and not that you have to play a position or straddle a line.
It's just that the society we grew in.
Yes, and during those times, it was like, oh, you the nerdy kid, you smart kid. So all the smart kids that I was friends with, I beat up all the bullies for them. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, now I was just talking to D and them last week or two weeks ago, and I talked to them, and we were talking about that. Like our friendship is actually pretty genuine in its kind because we allow everybody to be like, if we about to go do a drive-by trade, like, man, y'all know I don't really do drive-bys. We're like, man, take your pussy ass home then. Jokingly, right?
But you know.
But the next day when we seen Trey, we'd be like, oh, you can't hang with us no more because you wasn't going to do, not that we did any stupid stuff.
My mom was very interesting in the whole
But we allow you, we allow you to be yourself.
And so, like, you know, and then once I had my little sister, things kind of changed because she was so young. Yeah. And we were like, so it's like, my mom was tough too. It wasn't even matter that, bro. Just like,
after my brother died, I ain't give a fuck.
You, my whole point of what I was about to say.
Nah, it wasn't meant for you though. What we say, everything wasn't meant for everybody.
For us, it was
like you can have a Trey in the group, a dope. Yo, let me out the car.
Well, what's your boy off of Boys in the Hood?
You see, that's what
Rashad.
No. Remember Trey when he got dope? Let me out the car.
Let me out the car, bro.
Let me out. And don't let him out.
Not everything was for everybody,
and
though,
still
bro.
came and fuck with him after that, like, hey, bro, like,
because it wasn't even about that. It's about the authenticity, and I think that's something that in our culture now that we are now embracing is the authenticity of whoever you're gonna be. Whoever you're gonna be. If you're gonna be fucking gay, you need to be gay.
Yes.
Right.
You're all the way gay.
You need to be pulling up motherfucking men's. Like, don't be
struggle out.
Back here anymore. Like, it's kind of like that's a shift. That's a shift, Pert.
I know.
Like, there's so much of a shift.
That's fine, bro.
In our world where it's like
I'm agreeing with you, and
I can't even deal with it. Like, I'm old now.
It's fine, bro.
It's fine. Like, I could say things weren't always like this when I was a kid.
Right.
Think about GOT, man. Like, think about GOT. Like, if we love GOT in our high school days, like, we probably would have got picked on, right?
All right, so I don't know.
But no.
It's Game of Thrones.
But what I'm just telling you about now is like,
and
you're
for those
open.
Who watched it. Brand said the coldest thing I ever heard in my whole fucking life, man. I have never been so shook as I heard from this guy who said it with so conviction, with much conviction. I'm just waiting for an old friend.
Yeah. I fuck with him because he knows what's going to happen before it even happened. And he need to tell us the goddamn ending.
Well, he does, but he kind of like lets you know, like, and that's and from somebody who likes to write, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, I see this from a craftsman's point of view. That's what I always try to explain to people. Like, I can't watch TV like y'all watch TV. I have to cut it too much. Not you, Pert.
No,
you're the director.
Can I give you a fun? Can I give you a fun fact?
Okay.
58 million people downloaded Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
And half of that only watched it live.
Wow.
No, and that's okay because they all know that. They're going to take the great things about
26 million
from HBO.
28 million, whatever, 29 million, whatever fuck that is, 29 million.
As an observer of HBO, I've learned a few things, right? And what
HBO, I watch mine on HBO. Go ahead.
Is that
I don't watch TV at all.
Is that they're not worried.
This show's great.
What they're trying to do is that once they finally get the leakers out of the way from the tracking that they're already pulling out, and then all of a sudden you can't find episode 5.
Yeah.
Then everybody who has it will come.
Remember they leaked 2 episodes last season, though.
Man, I know.
We're waiting on it, and I watched them early.
Taste. It's just a taste to let you know.
I saw them bitches. When the hell came on out.
It's just a taste, man. HBO, as somebody who's been watching them since, like, I don't know how my mom got cable so often.
Man, come on, man. Real sex? Come on, man.
Man, but I'm talking about ever since, like, HBO has been in my life, I've watched them, like, evolve. Rather it was, like, HBO
First time I saw Colors was on HBO.
Man, maybe. Colors. And now you got it.
Colors.
You feel?
Man.
That was the shit.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that HBO, they're smart about what they're doing, and now they own everybody, right?
Look,
so they own Cinemax.
Everything's
whatever is not coming on HBO is going to Cinemax, and whatever is on Cinemax right now
is going to HBO.
It's going to go to HBO. They're sharing content. At this point, you don't even know where they end and where the other one begins.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
Because I'm watching these other niggas step on toes, 2 Stars and everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot.
To figure it out.
It's a lot of cable shows that offer their TV shows for free on the internet. but they still put
Even
commercials.
Netflix.
But they still put commercials on them shits. So
man, people talk about the Hulu TV now.
Yes, but
bro.
Hulu TV is saturated with commercials. That's why I only fuck with Netflix.
I'm
not gonna lie, I'm still a torrent baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on.
There's a lot of us out there.
I'm on the back of the internet with my shit.
They have a Disney Plus.
Disney trying. That's why they're pulling all the Marvel shows, because I know what they're trying to do. Yeah. They're trying to spin them shits back off on Disney, but Disney's not gonna do that shit right.
They gotta wait. No, they gotta wait 2 years.
Yeah, Disney
they're gonna hire the same people.
Disney fucking sucks anyway when it comes down.
They got all the money now.
It's great they have all the money, but they don't have the. You know what? Beyonce just walked out of fucking where? Adidas, Reeboks, because there were no black people in there.
Dang. Can you drop the intro so we can talk about Beyonce?
She's right.
So she walked out.
Let's get to it because
it's 33 minutes in. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's perfect, man. 333s. Welcome to Planet Pert, where you can get it free, but you got to be a G. Like a Newport short in Louisiana Parish jail, ain't got no filter. Episode 23. Michael Jordan, swish, LeBron James from the backboard, slam dunk. Let's go.
And that's my number, 33 all the way.
333s, yes. I
Magic Johnson.
If it has to only be one digit, and the reason why is because they say that's the first complete number. That's not me. That's ancient law.
3?
Yeah.
I just love 3 because
I don't know why. It's ancient law.
3 kids.
So
3 siblings.
3 kids.
Let's go.
Talking. All right. Just for those who do not know, Beyonce, Houston's Own, dropped a new live film.
I didn't hear it.
On Netflix.
It's on the Flicks?
It's going to come on the Flicks.
Okay.
But she dropped the live album today.
The Flicks.
And so, I ain't giving nobody money.
No, we stay cheap.
The Flicks.
Until you buy the content, nobody's getting paid. So when they go over to, I was talking about Beyonce. So Beyonce, she actually dropped a live album today, and it has all the Prairie View A&M musicians on it. What had happened 2 years over at Coachella, which just happened 2 years ago, she took it over and basically the white people felt like they should have went to a HBCU or a historically black college.
Oh yeah, she
or a university, but it basically showed a little bit of Southern flavor. We were over talking off camera about how much flavor has come out of Houston so much, and it's just seen everywhere.
Super flavor.
It is Travis Scott or Beyonce.
Double cups, pill popping. Candy paint.
You take my culture and left it. You said that it was bad, but when Paul Wall was doing it, Chamillionaire was doing it, you were taking notes. Mike Jones, who?
I was sipping drink when these niggas wasn't even born yet.
Man, they don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Baby bottles.
We've been doing that shit.
Baby jars, man.
Exactly.
Can we talk about baby food jars with a 4 in that thing? That's how you bought that shit back in the day, man. Real H-Town shit.
I used to buy $15 cup.
Watered down shit. It was real drink.
And DJ Screw. So we saw what happens with syrup, which is a lot of people fall, right? Eventually.
It don't just be syrup for them niggas though, because I've been sipping. But I don't want to get into that. But that's cool. RP Screw.
R.I.P. Screw, man.
Pimp C.
Pimp C.
Pat, all that, man.
I think it's like all things. We weren't raised on moderation. It's when you have it, love it, right?
True.
And then it's gone.
Right.
True.
And so that's what our heroes said. That's what we said. That's kind of how we run. And so we gotta do better. And so let's
stick to Beyonce.
Beyonce is doing better by cataloging everything.
You don't think that was a bold move of her being like Reebok didn't have enough black people in the office when she came to sit down with him and she ended up dipping the fuck up out of there?
I think that was part of the Netflix rollout.
I don't think it was no rollout. Beyonce doesn't need a rollout. She dropped surprise albums. When she walked in the room, it was all white people in the hole and wasn't no cover.
If she feel uncomfortable, then that's her.
But she did.
She's liable to her own opinion. That's what's up.
She do business with whoever she wants.
Nigga, that's Ho's wife.
She's able to do business with whoever.
They Billy up, nigga.
She's not anybody's wife.
That's Ho's wife.
Whatever.
I hear what you're saying, but that dude kissed him twice and the streets are done. because that dude.
Hey, I guarantee you the next Reebok meeting they gonna have some more black folks in there, motherfucker.
Like,
facts,
that's
bro.
the thing that gets
That's facts.
It's
H-Town shit.
No, that's true,
But,
bro. Why would I do business if I walk in a room? If I walked in a business meeting,
You
right?
feel uncomfortable, Trey.
Can I tell you something?
I've been going to those
If
my whole.
If I walked into a meeting in Norwegian land and all of them were white, I'd be like, cool. I know who owns Reebok. I know who owns Reebok, which is Adidas. I know who owns Reebok, which is Adidas. So she went from one office to the other. So if we really want to talk about it, I really think that it was part of the rollout because she saw how much buzz was coming out from her overdoing the blackness. No, she did the black movement thing. No, fuck that shit. She did the black movement thing where she walked out of the room because it was not black enough. And then all of a sudden she's dropping the Coachella black exploitation film live. Yonsei. Come on, dude. Don't act like I'm the only one who don't see it as a rollout, dude.
You're the only one who saw that as a rollout. I didn't see it as a
rollout, baby.
I'm following you, though.
And all I'm saying is I don't put it above Beyonce to do it.
I'm following you.
I don't put it above anybody who's made
think about it like that.
That much money.
You in a different bag of it.
Man, no, she's only made $1 billion. She doesn't have to do it anymore. She now owns all of her films. No, one of the things that she did, and I say that if you have all the money, I don't think that still
deteriorates from any of my points, though. Any of my points.
I love you, Beyonce.
But they're still valid because. Let me tell you why. If VH1 offered me a show, MTV offered me a show, or BET offered me a show, and I walked in the room and the people didn't look like me except for one of those places, even though they're sister companies now, right?
I'm gonna feel uncomfortable.
But does it really fucking matter which one I actually signed with? But let me tell you who it does matter to. Whoever is the VPs, the CFOs, and everybody else that's gonna get bonuses off of me being on their fucking TV show, they could charge more airtime for so they could buy a new jet. That's what I'm telling you. So it does matter whether Reebok and Adidas are sister companies. That's great.
She didn't want to give them the money.
It still matters though. Right. Because if I said no to you because there was no diversity, she should have came to Houston because it's one of the most diverse places ever.
Change.
That's great, but that's because you do need diversity in the room. Like how all these white people are gonna tell me how to run black corporation, bro? Right. That's all I'm telling you. Could be billionaire black corporation at that.
Exactly. Because I hear what you're saying about the black.
Let's go.
But I want everybody to understand when you got $1 billion,
you got to run us right.
You make choices. And that's what I was saying earlier about having money is that everybody got to make choices.
True.
Right? And when you have
you
more
selling
money,
out.
When you have more money, dude. Y'all don't even have to worry about how much y'all sell out. I will sell out from the moment that you see the fucking chain dangling on my fucking neck. And
that bitch told me, hey man, we got $100 million for you right now.
Bitch, what?
Shit. I know, I'm just saying.
$100 million, it would be
at her level. I'm talking at our level. You know what? At $3 million at our level, because it's like 1, 2, 3.
It would be like, man, that's a good number.
1, 2, 3. Hey, you know what? You know what? Make it.
Bitch, let's sell our soul.
Make it 4 so we could pay our taxes and we can still be millionaires for a day.
For a day, yeah.
Because we were spending on something.
Well, you know we got to take care of family first.
Right, exactly. Family got to be first.
Everything else is after that. Everything else is after that, bro. I'm sticking to that.
She would have to make that choice because if she went to an all-white corporation, it could be used against her.
I know, man.
What I always think about,
I think it's powerful. I think it's powerful though. That was my whole point.
No, it is powerful.
There was no right or wrong with that.
When I saw HBO and I saw how she did it, and she like bodied that shit. She had an HBO special.
Yeah, I remember that. My wife watched that whole thing.
But it answered questions that she would never ever answer in front of a camera.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It told enough
her life story.
Yeah.
Right. But in that whole thing, because you know
why that worked.
It told me that they talked about the vault that she has, where she has all of every picture that has been taken, everything that has been taken, every sound that has been made. She now has it all just for the control of it. And I was like, man, well, why would you release anything?
Do you know why why that worked for her as far as that rollout of having the show, having a vote, having an HBO show?
Yeah,
it's because she's so private and because Hov is so private. That's why. So that's even when they were offering like $1 million for the baby pictures, right?
No.
See what I'm saying? No, everything was no. And we seen Kim K and a bunch of other people that fed into that and took the money, right? Because that's what they do. Like,
right.
No, may not been the second child, but the first, yes, they done it. But that type at least, right?
Right.
It is a type.
When you keep it private like that, bro, your value never depreciates, right? We all saw that video where the guy stumped on the 20. Right. The little bullshit. Right. It's handed to the female and was just like, you still want the 20? She said, yeah. So he took it. He did the moonwalk on. He threw it across the room. He did all this stuff. You still want it? He's like, yeah, because that value. He was like, you know what? You know why you still want this money? Because it never lost value. You never lost value. And he got into this whole motivational thing, and it was kind of corny, but then it was real at the same time. You know. Right. But he's right about that. Is because they understand their value. And even when your value depreciates, you know that your value is going to rise. Like the price of fucking gold can go down to $500 an ounce, right? But it's been sitting there. It's been, but it would be great for investors on this flip side because it's going to go back up to 1,200, wherever the fuck is at right now. So basically, they're like, you could be down for a minute, but you're eventually going to get back up.
Yeah.
That's all I'm telling you about. She knows her value, bro. Ho knows his value when he got the Live Nation money. I don't even know what that deal was about. I just know they got $200 million for a Live Nation deal that
they make every deal count.
But I don't even understand what that deal was about. He explained it, and I still didn't understand. I was just like, okay, but you can still do you, but then you're fucking with them, and they're gonna give you some shit just to sponsor or whatever the case may be, bro. Like, I know, but they understand. She's dealing with value. She's dealing with a fucking mastermind as a husband, and then her own hustle on top of that and superstardom. Dog.
She was raised to be in this industry.
Yeah, but Matthew was kind of stealing money from people. He
was stealing a lot.
I'm talking about her daddy.
I don't want to get.
But like growing up, if you're growing up in the industry, if she was a child star and she's now the queen.
Yes,
she's Queen B.
Okay, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like,
she can even out-rap Nicki Minaj. I said my piece.
True.
Exactly.
Man, no argument. Said $1 billion to Elliot, man.
Yes, facts.
I don't know if she wrote it, but damn.
Don't matter.
Don't even fucking matter, on the track. So
don't even matter, bro.
It's one of those things where I think with Beyonce, it's not like I always wonder why. Like, you don't need the money anymore. You don't need it anymore. And now it's about legacy.
Okay, it's about legacy. Like, why? What? I'm the queen.
Make sure my kids are straight.
Already done.
Put the money into the right investments
and teach
them the ways of the wild, bro. Like that's the whole thing that I'm sitting up here that I've been telling y'all about information. We are information gods. What we are, bro. We all are. Every person with a phone in their hand. Now, whether they choose to distribute that information or absorb that information, that's up to them.
It's amazing
us
how
as
many
brothers
people are not going
us as brothers
do the legwork.
Us as brothers, I want to make sure that we do our equal part to share with each other knowledge and share with each other the game that was lost in between us not having fathers, in between us not having men of our liking.
Right.
Like, what's so hard about that, bro? Like, we have to preserve ourselves. Yeah. I don't care about no black or white. I'm talking about just as brothers, bro. Like, to pass on that information and to put it back out there so it can be used in positive light. So if someone asks you, hey, Trey, how do I? You're like, man, I can give you a 5-year plan on how you can make 6 figures.
Easy.
Because you're not being greedy with the information like, hey, I figured out my way. You get it your way. You know, that runs me hot when brothers are like that. And I told y'all, fuck the game is to be sold, not told. The game should be passed down. Because we should be looking at, as a 100 millionaire, I should be looking to step on you for 3 million because I see you hot right now. You could pass me up. No, nigga, pass me up. That's the motivation. That's the drive, bro.
Later.
Exactly.
I need that Sean.
That's why I fuck with Nipsey so hard. Well. You know, that's why I fuck with Nipsey so hard because he was about
pass the information down.
And there's nothing more valuable than information, bro. Because I can hand Tim 10 bands right now, 20 bands right now. He could run and fuck it up and be asking me for another in 10 months. But I can hand this. I can hand this man a whole business plan and a whole avenue on how to get money out here. And I could watch this man thrive and be like, you know what? And he'll pay it back to where he's just like, you know what? Nigga be doing acceptance speech somewhere and be like, man, I wouldn't be nothing first and foremost, and then give you that love back. And that love back is way more valuable than anything else than me seeing him down, me seeing him not being able to provide for his family. Like, nigga, when I see the longevity of what I gave, I just expect him to give that shit to 2-3 more people. You feel me?
I would hope so.
And then he sees and feels that same love back, bro. Because that's what it's all. Niggas, I'm a black hippie when it comes down to that shit like that, bro. Because I really feel genuine in that regard, Trey.
Yeah, but I think what holds us back is because so many of the great minds are isolationists, which is black this, black that, black this.
Nah,
right?
man. It's
wait.
It's people.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Is that if, like, we open up the conversation, then with our black people, let's just start with our own black people.
Okay.
Right.
Then we realize all the different obstacles that we are facing.
Okay.
Right? The only reason why people care about the Black Lives Matter, right, is because we were like, oh, shit, you've been harassed by the police, too?
Right.
Oh, shit, me, too?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, shit, you, too?
But we know that already.
No.
That's our life.
Once it was online,
it's our life.
And, like, we were like, yo, dude, we were seeing this shit, and it's happening everywhere. This shit is happening there. This shit is happening there.
Shit.
And it's happening too often. Then all of a sudden, we got up in the uproar,
I got
right?
you.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got you the information, this power, man. I just think that what we have to remember is that there are so many obstacles to being human. Right? Just getting through the fucking 24 hours of your day.
Yeah. It's a challenge, goddamn.
Right? And with other people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Is so difficult, and to still be loving, caring,
understanding,
giving, and all the things that we exemplify, it is very, very difficult. And as soon as we go up to every single person and realize that, yeah, man, I understand that your day was difficult too, but I need you to do something because mine is difficult right now.
Yes.
Right? Then we would be better. But nobody ever does that, right? Not at my job, not over at their job, not over.
Right.
Like, I don't ask. When I was working over at Whataburger, people were just mad because I didn't give them their fucking fries.
Right.
And I feel them, right? Because now when it happens, like, I try to be, like, gracious, but the fries are important. You know I feel that way, man. I'm trying to go none-bun diet, and you don't give me no fries, bro.
Oh, yeah, it hurts.
And so it's like...
That hurts.
But, like, I try to feel that way, but it's like, nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck, dude. And it really, really bothers me how much I just am okay with that.
Yes. Well, I mean that comes with sense of understanding and being in those situations, right?
Yeah.
So like in the same sense is if somebody forgets to do something for me, customer service wise, like my wife goes bananas, but me, I'm usually more calm, be like, hey man, you forgot to, because I understand.
No, but she's in it. And
I know.
So because she's in it, it's like, yo, man, it's a whole other thing. You just didn't take the extra 10 minutes that the extra 10 seconds that you're supposed to give me.
Yeah.
You didn't give it to me.
But it's those days are always stressful because you're underpaid.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you took those jobs because you have heavy responsibility that you need to live up
You gotta
to.
make money.
Yes, I know.
Legal money.
For me, when it's just like, man, it's all good, man. Just you know what I'm saying, go ahead and just hook it up, man, and throw it back in there. Like it's not a big deal.
Because we fellas, we don't mind that shit.
I'm not pulling back up like, I want
we know our girl need the other shit.
I don't want to chop your head off, dog. I just want, and they be like, man, my bad. Like, please don't ask for me, man. Please don't.
That's because
and I never do, man. Because I was like, man, I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to give them a hard time or to come back and. Like, I just don't want to be that negative energy for him. And I just wanted to see that, sometimes it's, the level head wins the game at times. But I understand exactly what you're talking about. You forget my fries, bro. Like, they forgot my fries one day. I ain't even turn around. I went back to the crib. I said, man, I forgot my fries. She like, oh, turn around. I said, man, it's late night. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat this burger.
Right. Me, shit. No cheese on there. Fuck. I'm about to eat this shit.
Can we talk about?
I'm gonna put my own cheese.
Like, to the crib. You want to make some fries? Stop and get us some chips.
Shit,
like I
chips,
think of a compromise. Go ahead, man.
Since we're on 23, can we talk about basketball?
Yeah, let's talk about
Let's do it, man.
All right. I already put out the Jackie Robinson. I know my mom's gonna be mad because I talked bad about Jackie Robinson and black people and everything.
Jackie.
Well, it's like no, I was talking about earlier, just distractions of black people, and it's like you give us these carrots where it's like we're supposed to be proud because it's the first black or it's this black or that.
Right.
It's monumental. It's monumental at times.
Well,
I don't really look at it like a distraction.
I'm tired of getting carrots, man. I'm tired of getting. Give me the fucking feast, man.
Yeah, I need the whole shit.
Let me live how I want to live, unencumbered. Then like I would be, man, dude. If I did not have to worry about being an intimidated black man, I guarantee you I would be the best.
Exactly.
Whatever I want to be. Because I don't have to hold back.
I stop worrying about that because I can't control that. It's a factor that I can't control, so I don't. I get y'all. I'm just as a darker nigga. I'm just telling y'all, like I just stopped caring about that stuff, and like I really feel like when I walk into a room, I'm of equal.
But you always.
And it's fine. Somebody can treat me differently, but when I walk into that room, I let nobody ruin that perception in my mind, and honestly, bro, it works, man. Like when I went out last week, like I'm out, I got stuck in the ditch. My essays came, pulled me, helped me get out the ditch. Let me just tell this short story. Then we go to the taco truck. I meet this white man out there. I walk to the bar because right by the taco truck, my wife has to pee. I see the white man that I just met. He's like, Baton Rouge. Just random talk because he's from Louisiana. I'm like, hey, great conversation. He's like, man, boom. His wife is like, oh, he's cool. He's like, oh, this is my wife I was telling you about. Because what I was saying was, I was like, man, you've been married 21 years. Man, you deserve a threesome. Like Kanye, you deserve that menage. And then he was just like, well, you need to let my wife know that. And I really wanted to, but then and it was a joke at the time. But by the time my wife came back from the bathroom, they're like, what y'all drinking? I'm like, man, I've been drinking whiskey. Boom, let's get him 2 whiskeys. You feel me? Boom. So now we're getting free drinks, and she's looking at me again like he's done it again. Like he's gotten free drinks on, like not even from women, nigga. Like this is from like people, just people that I meet. It could be women or men at times. So it's just like,
you're an extrovert.
I know, but when I walk into that fucking room, I feel like I'm Daryl Dunmore. Hey, here I go. Respect me. I respect you. So I never look at it the way that y'all look at things when it comes to that. What makes y'all look at things?
The way I'm treated.
I was in. I had different jobs along the way, right?
Man, fuck them jobs. I'm talking about as a person. What makes you feel that way?
I'm talking about what you're conditioned as, right?
Okay.
Condition
plays a lot.
Because I was in education, right? And D knows when you're the big, tall black man in education, you're the last line of defense.
Okay.
So like they'll send all their problems your way. So you just get used to that. And that wears on you.
Okay.
And then like I was over in we were talking about how I was in fast food. Was like in fast food and
what defines you though? I hear about all that. I want to get to the meat of it. It's great.
It takes a long time for you to be to where you're fucking Daryl Dunmore. You weren't that for a while. You were Pert. And Pert was an evolving person because I've seen it.
He still was in his bag, but go ahead.
But he was totally different. And now you're totally different.
Yeah.
Right? And along the way, you were conditioned by certain events.
Of course.
And so one of the things is that I wish that we didn't have those events.
Okay.
Right? A lot of people that we call our friends, right? They didn't have to deal with certain things. They didn't have to worry about certain things. They're not certain people. So like when they come into contact, which is funny to me, some people was like, man, you're the first.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, of course.
Or you're my first black friend.
Or
I'm not racist. You're the
first black guy.
But if you counting,
first black guy that didn't get upset when I said this, and instead of even being offended or being mad, I know. But
it's so uncomfortable to live that way.
I don't really look at it like that because now I get to reach one by teaching one. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I get to basically
unnecessary energy.
It's not
unnecessary. It's like to live without that.
it's not unnecessary. Yes, that's great for them, but also to be the equalizer in their brain of understanding that all people aren't like this or all people aren't like that is satisfying to me. And maybe that's the joy that I get up out of that, of me being like, oh man, I've never been able to ask these questions to a black person before without them getting mad or getting offensive, because I'm going to come back with a logical, educational answer. And to you, you may have a defense mechanism up that I don't have up, because
I don't have a defense mechanism.
I just lowered those walls to accept those questions, because I've asked those questions with white people before as well.
It's the same reason why I don't go to the strip clubs.
I press
them.
They
all want to sit down and talk to me.
True.
And it's like, I don't want to fucking hear about your problems. I don't want to hear about all the things that you've been keeping all pent up inside.
Oh, you just gotta bite him on the shoulder.
I just want to go through life as Travius Lawson without anybody impeding my way. And today, I was stuck in the elevator.
How'd you feel about that?
It kind of fucked with me because...
Was you on the 23rd floor?
No.
Yeah, 23.
I had already worked out in my mind that I could have survived it, but that I was no longer taking the elevator in the garage.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Yeah, the garage elevator is always trash.
But like, I got out and it's cool, and then it was like the person who I rode up with, the only reason why I pushed that extra button and kind of fucked up shit.
So you broke
you fucked it up.
The corner. And it's like I'm literally like rolling, because I can't do love. I don't fucks with shit like that, right? So like I was rolling out of the elevator trying to get out, like, because I was in between 2 and 3, and it was like, oh shit.
You know, when you pull the door open at the top, there's like a little hole right there. You stick like a key in there, you turn it, it'll open the door for you.
Man, dog.
Just a little FYI next time. Even if you're between floors, you can just crawl out.
You don't understand. I opened it up, but I was in between floors.
So you was halfway between.
So like I had to get my mind together on whether I was going to go low or high.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which one is going to be the most physical?
Well, it's like, and that's what I'm saying.
Well, you don't want that bitch to start up.
I gotta go up.
You don't want
I gotta go low.
And then like
I gotta go low.
All of a sudden shit starts flying. No,
you gotta be quick.
Some Final Destination.
You gotta be quick.
Am I gonna go low?
You gotta be quick.
Slip through that bitch.
And know I'm gonna fall.
Mission Impossible 7. You gotta slide through that bitch real quick.
Nah, dude. I knew I was gonna fall.
Or you gotta jump.
I was like, either way, I'm getting fucked up here, but I'm getting out of it right now.
How'd you get out? You went low or high?
I climbed down.
Hey, you went up or down?
I went high.
Okay.
And that's the reason why, if anybody was really looking, they saw a moderately big man get out of an elevator in a very Winnie the Pooh like fashion. And that's all that I'm saying about that. Because that's exactly in my mind. Because I'm conditioned. I'm conditioned to be a big man and know that I look very awkward doing some shit.
I would have jumped right out that bitch. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, it's like you.
That boy say he had the honey in one hand.
But like, I had to get out.
You know how Winnie used to hit that?
I had to get out. That's all I'm saying about it. And that was kind of fucked up. But it was one of those moments where it was like, man, like I said earlier, I was just having bad energy.
Yeah, that just go to show you that shit could change at any moment.
Well, it does. I've been stuck in the elevator plenty of times, so that's funny. That's crazy. I worked at the dock.
Time.
Oh yeah, I worked at the dock, so it stopped all the time. Yeah, and they used
I ain't never been stuck.
Oh, it ain't that bad, bro. It ain't that bad.
It's solitary confinement, which anybody who knows.
Yeah.
It's okay for me, like, in certain
Those
ways.
movies freak me out when they do, like, somebody stranded in the elevator.
That's what I've seen too many
like,
things.
2-3 hours in the elevator, man. That shit would fucking run me up the
I always worry about the drop. And it's like
it's brakes on it, and there's a cable and brakes, and that's what the movies. Saying. That's what the movies never tell. Now in new movies, they blow the brakes, they blow the cable. Then that's.
But you weren't in the elevator today.
But also,
I was thinking scenario.
Also, if you're falling so fast in elevators, you actually rise up to the top. So when it slams down at the bottom, you'll actually be up when it hits the ground. So a lot of that, I mean, you can survive way more than what they put in the movies because as the elevator's dropping fast, the gravity changes
It's
and
pulling
push you
this
up
shit
to the
up.
top. So when it slams down, you'll be at the top of the elevator anyway. Not that anybody's want to ever experience that, but just a little hidden fact of Mythbusters. You know what I'm saying? You're watching TV.
You watching TV? I feel like you watching TV. Man.
Well, you just deteriorated from sports though. Before we get out of here though, I want to talk about Big Soldier though, because they robbed my nigga Big Soldier while he was in jail. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to talk about sports. How did I get on sports?
I have no clue how you went to that.
You're gonna listen.
You went to Jackie. You went to Jackie Chan, and I mean not Jackie Chan, but Jackie Robinson too.
Oh yeah, because I was talking about the black people.
So they stole a $500,000 worth of jewelry from Soulja Boy, which we really don't know if that's real or not. But
now he got that.
You think that was an insurance play?
No, because they stole his phone too. So while he in jail, they out there on the blocks and rolling 60s. They out there on the block with Big Soldier phone on his Instagram Live. I'm like, how do you get your password though?
Isn't he blood or something?
Yeah, no, but how do you get his password though? That's why I'm like, man.
You think he was stupid enough to keep his shit unlocked?
Probably so, because he's
young. He rich.
Yeah, young and rich.
I'm just slide my shit on for life.
Yeah. So they
because I be doing stupid
shit. They claiming they broke in his house and then took, but fuck that out. That's whatever they stole, right?
No, he been putting his new house on.
I know, but
he was putting
why
his new house.
steal a man's phone after you broke in his house and basically tell the cops who broke in the house?
Right. That's how the new robbers are doing shit.
Why are we? What is the?
I want to show you that I'm doing it.
I would have stole his phone, rebooted that hoe, put my SIM card in the hoe. Now I got a new phone, right?
Whole new phone,
man. Because that's the level of intelligence that we roll in. Attention is the new fucking crack. We've been saying this shit for weeks now, bro. I swear to God, I might get it tattooed on my fucking eyeball, man, just so these niggas know. Don't do the face tat. Whatever.
Well, it's just if you're gonna do a face tat, then it has to be something picturesque.
I'm gonna do it in initials though.
People don't realize that face tats they change over time because your face changes.
I know
over time.
AITC though. AI.
I don't know.
Initials though. NTC. It looked like a gang shit though. Attention is the new crack.
No.
Attention.
And granted, Nipsey had the great prolific one.
Just the initials though.
Like
acronyms,
in hindsight,
man.
that was a brilliant tattoo because everybody's painting his face from that side, and so it worked out really well.
Yeah, but
like for the rest of
God's coming back or something like that.
Yeah. What he put it on that was actually really, really dope. But
I'm saying it worked out for him, but everybody else.
I would never get a face tat for several reasons.
I got a lot of tats.
That's great, but for several reasons I would, because nigga, I want to live to be 80, 90 years old one day, and what I represent then and what I represent now will be two different representations. Yeah, you can go and get the face tats removed.
I couldn't say I wouldn't get one.
Do all the search. That's fine.
I'm thinking like, I don't know. My mind probably changed. I couldn't say I wouldn't get one or not get one.
I'm 100%. I am 100%.
I didn't thought at the same time, like, fuck that shit.
Neck, I would do. Face tat, no. It's just because, man, it goes into a lot of different bags.
No, you're right.
If you want to be a face of a company, like right now, if we were young, we're wild and thugging, like we probably have a bunch of face tats, right? Just idiots. And I was skeptical about even getting a neck tattoo.
Neck tattoo, yeah.
Even a sleeve, because one day I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to be in somebody's office one day. I'm not doing this forever. And it was only a part-time mission for me. And I understood that. And I'll tell you right now, would I hire a nigga with face tats? Yes, but he going to be working in the back office. You feel me? Because it's a representation of your company. I understand when people make those moves. I know a lot of people with face tats are looking like asses and probably looking. But
a lot of companies are letting people like be forefront with the face tats.
On what?
Like certain like Whole Foods and shit like that.
Doing what though? Okay, we're not talking about. That's not a career though.
No, for right now, and then eventually.
No, it's more acceptable. It's getting more acceptable.
Yeah, but
because
I'm talking
more
career.
People have
yeah, it's getting more acceptable career wise too.
Front office, no, the sleeves are. The other tattoos on the neck are,
but not
the foot tattoo. Getting a fucking Houston star tattoo.
No, it's different. That's gang related. Like you're a fucking Tango Blast. You see that shit?
But why though? I mean, my whole thing, and I get it. I get influence. I get the times, I get all that stuff, but my whole thing is just like, why try to keep yourself as presentable as possible, bro? Because again,
we're from
no, that's understandable.
Gonna be somebody's grandpa one day, bro.
But we're from that age where that's presentable, because that's what's presented out to us. But eventually, people who have like the loop in the ears, you know what I mean? Like now
the gauges and shit.
But now the gauges, but no, the gauges
down here with none of them hoes in there, bro. Oh.
But the gauges when we were younger one way, and now there's so many people who don't have gauges anymore, who now just have open
long ass ears.
Well, but now
no, they long now. But the ear stretches.
But what it is like the gauges come from like the Africa culture, and the tattoos come from the Mexican gang culture.
It's even. And every culture has tattoos of some type.
In their face?
True. The tattoos, the Indians. And
there's cavemen with
in the face.
Tattoos
but the mouth, the lip thing.
Yeah, that's the African tribe.
The big ass ear, with the gauges. That's African.
That's African. And that's all I'm saying is that times will change, and more people will have tattoos, because what they represent now is not what they represent
before.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so it's really interesting. My mom made me not get tattoos that were visible.
I've always had that in my mind anyway.
And so, but that was the deal we had, because she got me my first tattoo.
For several reasons, though.
Right.
So,
because to be like the guy robbed me with the star on his face.
Right.
You know, a guy that, whatever the case may be, not that I was doing any of those things, but just, it was... You put yourself you just put yourself into a pool that you don't want to swim in, bro. It's toxic.
People think about things in different ways.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give that. That's idiot behavior. I don't care what nobody says. That's idiot behavior, because it's just like, okay, you don't give a fuck until you give a fuck. But then I see older niggas now, they got the face tattoos. They can't find jobs, or every 3 months they're posting who's hiring. I'm like, dog, you just had like 8 jobs this year. You mean to tell me you couldn't hold one of them down?
No, but that's just I think what's different now and what was different then is that back in the day, if you were laid off or something like that, most people wouldn't know you were still trying to keep up appearances, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because of the social network, your thing is immediately to go to LinkedIn or to go to Facebook and try to figure out what to do next.
True.
Man, like the economy's changing. I'm trying to explain it to some people, but they don't see it. But it's you can't be up for too long, as they say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so everything can't be the best, and our administration always likes to say that we're the greatest, we're the best. And what that does when you set that precedence, I feel you, but when you set that precedence, is that you can't ever not be the greatest, the best. So you can't go up and be like, man, that last quarter, woo, I don't know who was counting up the numbers, but we're going to put a stop to this next time. You can't do that. Like, you got to go, no, everything is great.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that if you said that Obama was fucking up everything, and he had to come out and be like, nah, this is actually okay. This is not too good. This is okay. This is not too good. And I know that he was probably trying. You can say whatever you want about him, but I know him as being that first.
Right. With all the pressure.
He was at least trying to do something.
Facts.
Right? And so whatever that something was, or whatever you want to say in history, he was trying to do something. So you're telling me that this guy right now, who is the greatest and the best, he can't tell us that, man, Tuesday wasn't that great.
No.
Wednesday was really all right.
He gonna lie to you. He gonna lie to you every step of the way.
Exactly.
I'm just saying,
and
it's
okay to have bad days.
Well,
and you're absolutely right. It's okay to admit bad days. It's okay. Like I told you when I got into my shits at the bar and spazzing, it's okay for me to do that. Like I feel like it's okay for me to do that, and I'm accepting of having those bad days, and I still preach Zen and positivity, and it's gonna be bad days. But for me to tell you that every day was a good day, in essence, just denying everything, it's not good for anybody around you, anybody that you're trying to offer leadership to. Because if you can't make yourself relatable and a real human being, then what in the hell are you doing that shit for?
Right.
Episode 23, man.
Wow.
like, let's go, man. Already, man. Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Covered all the shit.
We had a lot of things to say this.
No, I actually think it was exciting, fun, and
it was dope, man.
I think we got some shit on
informational.
Yeah.
No, it's informational. Like we had a couple of serious casts the last couple of weeks, respectively so, right? But like this week, let's just get back into what we do, man, and just having genuine and general conversations about important topics. We talked about we are information gods. That might be the name of this 23. Who knows? Because I that's a big role that I want us to really carry into being parents, friends, and also leaders, man.
Right.
Like, because you can't real quick, and because it's my last words. Like,
well, you might want to respond to this.
All right, go ahead.
And this is kind of interesting. Well, it's like the young AB, like when he says something, because he talks very little, and contrary to what most people think, he talks very, very little. He says something very, very interesting to me recently, because he's the guy who's seen the up close climb, right?
Okay.
To come up. And he was telling me that it was very, very interesting to watch, because once I started taking myself seriously and calling myself the Pharaoh and started conducting myself as the Pharaoh,
right,
that was the real change.
Yes.
It's when I started taking myself seriously.
Yes.
Right.
And it was like, and like when he said it to me, it was kind of like, my immediate response was like, what do you mean when I started respecting myself more? It was the respect.
Yes.
Where it kind of like slapped me a bit, because I was like, what do you mean respect myself? And it was kind of one of those things that when I was talking to you about king moves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say, is that I think that we need to start respecting not each other more, because I think we're kind of oversaturated with that, right? Everybody's very, very much in that
tuned in, right?
Of what's happening together, and I think that one of the things that we need to start moving on is respecting ourselves more.
Okay.
Taking our own self seriously. And when you said being a leader, I was thinking, man, that's the thing before when Pert didn't have that Daryl Dunmore now has.
Facts.
Is that back when you were the leader, you didn't want to be the leader.
No.
And now you are the leader because you are the leader. And it's a very different thing. And I think it's because we now respect ourselves more. We respect our lives more. We respect our time more.
True.
And so,
well,
I think that that's very, very interesting, and I think that should be acknowledged. That part of the growth of the evolution,
right.
is the self-respect, and I don't think that we have that in our culture.
Yes.
We don't respect ourselves because we're trying to be something other than ourselves.
Okay.
A lot of the time.
Yes.
And I wish that, just like, the young black kid who's smart or whatnot, like, just like the young gay kid that's out there.
Yeah.
Because
Dwayne
Wade's son, like, he got a whole bunch of flack for going
to the Pride Parade.
That's his son, dude. That's his son.
That's I mean, that's who he. You're right, and that's actually who he is, right? And I mean, I'm not opposed to anybody being who they are, and I think that's why when I was talking earlier about being envious, anything I'm envious about in this generation that's going on right now is the fact that you are able to be yourself, right? Because it took a long time for me to realize who Daryl Dunmore was, and you're right. And then that's why when I walk in the room now, I'll be like, hey. And I joke with him like the Daryl Dunmore. When I meet people, be like on TV, like the Ohio State University.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, the Daryl Dunmore.
Yeah.
And they laugh and we all have a good time. But I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, bitch, no, like really, like shake my hand, bitch. I'm the Daryl Dunmore. Like this is who I've become, and to get to that level is humbling, and it's also a lot of self-confidence and no lack of insecurity there, man. Like I'm just like
it's
focus.
Strange what the insecurity was holding back.
Yeah, just focus. You feel me?
Straight focus.
And I'm gonna end this show on a sad note, you know, because one of my uncles passed away, man. You know, Uncle Mario out in Cali.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, please do. 41 years old, man. We don't really know why now. Looking like natural causes, whatever the deal may be, as natural as it could be at 41. But I was actually unaware of that because I've only met him once that I remember a couple years ago when I picked the colors up. But
that was a monumental trip.
Yeah, well, I met him during that whole trip, so I can't say just once because he lived at the house that I was at. But yeah, man, you know, big prayers to the family. That was my my dad's youngest brother, and like I know he's not doing too well himself. So Granny's not really taking it too well, but you know, somebody was saying like, man, why don't you just spend your money and do this and do this? And I'm gonna end this on a funny note because he was just like, well. I was like, he was like, you don't never know, you might die tomorrow. And I was like, then if I did, then my family have enough money to bury me. And he was just, and I was like, but if I don't die tomorrow and I spend all my money today, then I wake up broke. Mm-hmm.
Choices.
All right.
Planet Pert Podcast, man, episode 23.
Thank you for tuning in to the Planet Pert Podcast.